So we have 2 courses. They're the same course. They're just kind of 2 levels. So you have solo, you just, want to do it on your own. Maybe you have a limited budget. It's $299 full course. It's the same information that our apprenticeship students get, but you do it on your own. You still do the same exam at the end, and that is personally graded by Anthony, so it does take a little bit of time to get that back, but he goes over absolutely everything with you, and if he thinks that you need a little bit more work, he will give you some additional work and another exam just to make sure you can increase your skills. He wants to know that you are good enough to be hired. We do pass names on to agencies that we know that are looking for students. We also train specifically for some agencies. We're starting to do that. But the course, like I talked about earlier, it's all on your time. So whatever your schedule is, it is there when you are ready, when you have the time to do it, and it's always there. It's there for the lifetime. All the updates, everything goes in there. You never have to pay for anything ever again. And then we have our apprenticeship. Same course, okay? But with the apprenticeship, you're paying for some personal help, so you get 2 months of coaching. Okay, it does not have to start right when you order the course. Most of our students now go at least most of the way through the course before they start their coaching, or they even go through the whole course and then they do it. And I started telling people that because a couple students told me about a year ago, I think, and they're like, I thought about, reaching out beforehand, but I'm like, I don't really know what I need help with. So especially if you are picking this stuff up, you might think, but then it was good for them because then they knew exactly what their problems were, and they felt confident. So anyway, your coaching can start whenever. You can literally said that to say that you can literally do the entire course and then start your coaching. So it's totally, on your schedule. It might reach out a little bit to see what specific day you're going to start, so that Anthony can do onboarding with you and go over everything, especially any changes for a specific client that you're going to be put to working on first, because what happens in the apprenticeship now, so you have your coaching, and then once you pass, then you do an actual apprenticeship with our company. So you come in and about between 30 and 45 days of working on paid files. These are normal files, just like the rest of the team can grab, but he may start you with one specific client saying, okay, I'm going to have you be taking files from this client. So he can dial you in on that, and then he'll move you on to another one and move you on up to higher level files, because during that apprenticeship, the goal is to get you off of your files being 100% proofed. Okay, so when you are starting as a brand new transcriber, like I said earlier, even if you have that certification, for those first couple of files, any client that hires you, they're going through it with a fine-tooth comb to make sure you know what you're doing. So we have to do that with all of your files, and the goal of that 30-day apprenticeship is to get you to the point where we don't have to 100% proof your work. We can treat you just like anyone else on the team. What do you need to land a role? Adrian, let me know if you mean just as a legal transcriber or if you're talking about something else. So you're working on one file at a time, right? So that we know where you need to work on things. Even once you're past that, anyone on our team, they get files back with any corrections that we made so that they know. Sometimes it's because a client is changing something now, so we'll send it back and be like, okay, this is what we're doing moving forward, or if there was just anything that we needed to fix. And even, I actually had an email the other day from a student. So you'll have hotspots. You'll have areas, words that you cannot get. You do not understand what they're saying. You have tried a million times and you just cannot figure it out. And new transcribers kind of freak out about that, but we expect hotspots. We don't expect that you're going to hear every word, because we don't hear every word. So there's, a process the file's going to go through. You're that first one, right? And then the team's going to be reviewing it, right? If they can't get some of the stuff, it goes to Anthony. He's going to review it. So you get it through 3 people already. And then it's going to go to the client and they're going to review it. So each person along the way is going to be trying to get those hotspots, trying to figure out what they say. Sometimes it has to just get back to the court reporter because the court reporter was there, right? And it might just jog some. They're like, oh, that's what they said, but they were there, so they're going to know. Sometimes no one knows, right? That happens. So it's okay to have hotspots. You're going to have things that you don't hear, but the goal of that apprenticeship is to get you off of us having to 100% proof it. Now we're just going to focus on your hotspots. So we always expect hotspots. Every file that comes in, very rarely are there no hotspots. So that's going to go back to the team once that file is cleared, because we have to, so if it's an hour, you know, the reviewer is going to go through at least an hour and a half probably of being reviewed, maybe longer. It took you 4 hours to type, right? So the time for the team to get through that, once that file's cleared, then you get the next file, okay? So the last time I pulled apprentices during their apprenticeships, for their first 30 days, the ranges were from, I think, $722 to almost $2,400 earnings during just their apprenticeship. So most people earn the full fee they paid for the course back, which is great. But even if you don't earn that much, you're earning something. We also, you know, we're seeing your work ethic during that time. And so you have a reference from us if you're going out and finding other clients. Gonna be losing my voice here. So that's the apprenticeship. And you don't have to start the actual apprenticeship the very day that you pass the exam either. I get that question. And sometimes that doesn't work out with the company either. You know, we have a week or something that we need to make you wait because we do have to onboard you, get you on basically as a contractor, you know, going through the whole 1099 hiring process, and get you on to the team and signing all the contracts and stuff. So you can also choose, these are just random questions that I've gotten in the past and situations we've had, but if you have, you know, something come up, a medical issue, or even just a vacation that's planned and now you finish the course and you can't start for 2 months, like, you know, we work through those things. It's also the reason that we keep the number of apprentice students down. We can only handle so many people. We're a family-owned company, right? We're not a giant community college, so we need the time. So currently we're only accepting 10 students. That's actually going to be going down, and we're going to have a bit of a different process for getting into the apprenticeship. Haven't figured out full details, but that will be coming. But that is limited, and it's still super affordable. It's $799, cheaper than any other course, cheaper than even a full course at a community college. So we try to really keep it affordable for everyone involved, but still hopefully pay us enough for our time for doing all of that coaching, and then of course hiring you for that month. So think of any other, I didn't write down my questions that I normally get for the courses, but that's that. If you haven't yet, go sign up for the bootcamp.